I take you all around these parts, boy, let's take a ride. Yeah, I put that on Wayne, that's on Shade of God. 12 o'clock on Banshees, that's how we making time. You might see squads, cause bikes bring bonds. I'm like, they gotta know the balls from Harlem to Baltimore. You can hear the went by the plastic scraping on the floor. I'm trying to show them more than posting at that corner store. You just gotta hit the gas, homie, all in all. I know this bike life, I know what this life like. I'm flipping that throttle, streets got me feeling like Mike. Right. I'm talking A5 to Cherry Hill. For years they heard about the stories and we legends still. Let's take a ride from my side to your side. Let's take this worldwide. Let's take a ride. Ooh, let's take a ride. Oh, this for Willie Wayne and this for Shay. Let's take a ride. Ooh, let's take a ride.
Deuce, deuce in my booth, Timberlands in the goose. Play me and I'ma shoot, bullet aim at your roof. Bishop, I want these niggas on Joker time. Starving, I'ma hunt for mine. Focus, I be on my grind, cross the line. Deuce, deuce in my booth, Timberlands in the goose. Play me and I'ma shoot, bullet aim at your roof. Bishop, I want these niggas on Joker time. Starving, I'ma hunt for mine. Focus, I be on my grind, cross the line. Hungry, I need this food, you better not make a move. Hey, you should play it smart or end up a dead fool. Cause trucks, I got my tool.
What up, boy?
What up?
You ain't shit.
Ain't seen your ass in a while.
I ain't seen you in a while. Where you been at? In the room?
I've been hiding.
We better hide. These motherfuckers is crazy out here.
Been hiding.
But you know what we should do?
What's that?
I think we should try to pull out some more super OGs. Let's take them back, man.
In the vault?
Let's
what
go.
You got?
Let's go in the vault. I think I could pull off something crazy.
All right, tell me what you got. What you got?
I got a dude.
I might learn something today.
And he a mechanic. So I'm gonna go in the vault. I'm gonna pull out a super OG. Chris.
Chris?
Yeah, Chris. He had twins. He had. Matter of fact, let me just get Chris out here. Come on, Chris. Got the Incredible Hulk jacket on and all. Chris, have a seat, my guy. Pull up, man. Speaking to the mic.
I don't know. These things get me in trouble.
Make sure you're talking to the mic clearly.
No, not that kind of mic.
Right. Tell these people who you are, man.
I guess I'm a legendary C Boogie.
C Boogie. C Boogie, the infamous C Boogie. I don't even know where to begin at. The cool thing about this interview is that he's a mechanic. You a mechanic, he's a Banshee Killa in his right, and I gave you the name Banshee Killa. So
let's start with this. Let's start with the mechanic part.
Tell us.
I don't know. I've been tearing into bikes, and me and my brother been tearing into bikes since we kids. You know, and fixing everybody else's bike. You know, and that's how people know me, from fixing bikes and then from riding and wheeling.
How long you been fixing bikes?
Probably since I'm 12.
12 years old.
12. Like what year was that?
83.
Sheesh. He was fixing air cool.
Yeah. Air cool. Yeah.
1980 CR80s.
I had one of them.
The
with
80?
the metal gas tank.
That motherfucker's right. Heavy as shit.
Two shocks.
Yep. Two shocks, metal gas tank. I had one of those.
1980 CR80. Damn, that was metal tank.
I had one of them. I ain't like it, but I had it.
So you was fixing all the bikes. You from the east side? Where you originally from, Chris?
From the east side.
Don't start acting shy, man. The mic right there.
Nah, I'm on
Don't do that, man.
We're from the east side. We're from the east side.
We can pour you a Patoro early to get you.
Yeah, whatever.
Let me get you straight.
Which one do you want?
Which one you want? The coconut or the inhaler? Which one?
Give me that one, brown one, man. I like the brown ones.
Are you Irish?
Yeah.
Here, man. Let me pour you. I don't even know why I'm pouring you a drink, but you're the OG. Here you go.
All right.
He the first dude that had his drink first. Like that stuff?
It's good.
Okay, so let's get back to the bikes. There you go, Chris. This is gonna be a good one right here. So finish going on the bikes. Let's the mechanic.
Yeah, so we've just been working on bikes our whole life. We opened the shop later on.
Speak up.
You know? And what do you want to know?
Tell us about Twin Cycle.
That was the shop?
That was the shop.
Twin Cycle?
Yeah, we had
So
shop.
Twin Cycles, I don't mean to cut you off. Twin Cycle is where Jose's shop is at now in the city, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, a lot of people in New York use Jose's.
We had, we had a big following with the bikes, so everyone was always coming to fix the bikes. So they come to us to fix the bike. So we opened the shop. We were one of the first dudes, the first brothers, I'd say, because we were
twins.
We were doing powder coating and polishing, and it took off from there. But we started helping Base Cycle, and we were telling him about powder coating and polishing and chroming, and that's how he started going. And then eventually we opened our own shop and did it for ourselves. We were doing it for Joe.
So you were doing all the powder coating for Base Cycle?
Well, we would take it and we would send it to Color Life. Color Life was in Long Island. There was some.
I heard of that.
Color Life was the best. If they're still doing it, I don't know, but they were the best back then. Got John and Color Life.
Somebody else on the show was talking about Color Life.
Yeah, no, Color
I forgot
Life.
who that was. It was.
I mean, that was well over 20 years ago.
Right.
But those guys were the best at the powder coating. But that's what we were doing, most of that stuff. And then we got, like, people would come to me for the 2-strokes and the Banshees to work on their Banshees and shit like that. You know, that's basically how we started.
Let me ask you a question, because y'all Banshee heads, we all Banshee heads. When you build your Banshee motors, what you building for, Wayne? Like power-wise, what kind of response you like?
I just like throttle response.
Right.
I just wanted crisp on that wheelie. For as soon as you touch the throttle, you just want the tick.
And what about you, Chris?
Just like he said it. Gotta have that fire right at your thumb.
You don't want no build up, no hesitation. You don't want to coast, let out the gas, and go back to it and give you that hesitation. We don't want none of that. We want to go right back to it.
Just hit that shit and go.
Do you feel like every mechanic that rides Banshees, like y'all true mechanics, so do you feel like everybody has their own personal setups? Like how you like your bike setup compared to how you like your bike?
Most people got their own personal setups, I feel like, but everybody don't like the same thing. You know what I mean? And
it was tough because with the Banshees and the Jets, you have to work with them because sometimes you get a little more on the bottom but less on the top. So you had to have a happy medium.
Yeah, because you don't want your throttle response there, and then when you go to take off, you can
like a lot of dudes don't realize when you can make it real crispy on the bottom, but when you're getting hot upstairs, you blow your motor. The motor got to stay constantly lubricated. And they constantly blowing them Banshee motors, boy. I tell you that. They going to them motherfucker.
So a little bit of history on you, Chris. I don't like a lot of people really know you from. I gave you the name Banshee Killa, but a lot of people know you from the Rough Rider video.
Yeah.
Give us some little history on that and the breakdown and all the dynamics that came with that video.
Which one?
Which one was that?
The Anthem.
The Anthem.
Oh, the Rough Rider Anthem. Okay.
Yeah. Well, basically.
What you was on there? Okay.
Yeah. And basically, they were having a gathering to Wink was throwing a parade, and they were gonna have something, and everybody come for the parade, and they started filming there. But from what I understand is who should be sitting here next to me is my man Bay, rest in peace, because he came, and Bay was like kind of like me when we rode. All bets were off. It was like wide open all day.
When you and Sean Bay rode.
Yeah, Sean Bay. I had a lot of fun riding with that kid, man.
He was crazy.
He was out to lunch, and it was good because it was someone kind of like me. I was very aggressive when I rode, and he was aggressive, but in a different way.
What's your level of aggressive when you say it?
You'd have to see me ride back then to understand. I was very hard on the bike, man.
Did you blow a lot of motors?
No. Okay. I blew one motor. I had the same pistons in the bike for 2 years.
Right.
And because when you mix your bike right, you mix the oil right.
I seen it all the time.
Mix it right.
The same piston in my Banshee for 4 years.
You can change the ring. You can change the rings, and your pistons are good. Yamaha, like all these guys are putting these aftermarket pistons in and all that. Yeah, that's great. But when you're doing that, you're taking a life away from the engine. But you keep factory pistons in there.
Last long.
They're made to get hot. They're cooler, they're lighter, and they're made to last. And basically, you just gotta change the rings. As long as you mix the oil
rings
right.
Just wear down.
Yeah.
They wear down perfect.
You do a little hone on the cylinder, and you're good.
So, Rough Rider video, you making noise at this time.
Yeah. So we were doing a lot of parades with Wink. Wink was the man, and from my point of view, like Wink, he had the bikes locked down. He got New York locked down, and everybody followed him. He made all that shit what it is today. You know, and I wish that he got the credit that he deserved for that. You know, for everything that he's done. There's a lot of old riders. I've been riding forever. We got a lot of old riders, and from what I've seen growing up, I ain't never seen no one like that, and I've been around a long time.
Was it a lot of controversy? I remember you telling me a lot of controversy with the that one particular video when you was riding in the video, because a lot of people confuse you for the DJ.
Yeah, DJ was the kid on the stairs, you know, and then since it was a yellow Banshee, and I guess we look alike, so we were light skin.
Light skin,
you know. It wasn't too many light skinned dudes in the video,
right?
You know what I mean? But that's the way it was easy to confuse us. But yeah, he was doing the stairs, and that was a couple of shots. But then they got me in there a couple of shots. But that was a lot of fun, that video. You know, there were a lot of dudes broke their ass, got run over, you know, and shit like that. But it was
you the one doing the donuts on the handlebars?
Yeah, yeah, but that wasn't in the video.
That wasn't in the video.
That wasn't in the video. That was in the video that I put out. Yeah, the day of, you know, like they were doing their shoot.
But you was sitting on the handlebars?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, what I would do was, like, I start a donut, right, and then I always start climbing over it,
and then get up,
you know, and then get up there. And a lot of dudes were like, "Wow," because couldn't get past the handlebar; they were on the floor,
right?
You know,
and you got to remember what year it was.
Yeah,
yeah,
right, because. See, the people watching, they don't be realizing that the year
what
that
year
we
was.
About. They be like, "Oh, everybody doing this." You're like, no, not at that time.
You was really doing a lot of extra shit.
You know, like I was talking to somebody last night, and they would tell me, "Yeah, you can't do that. You can't do that." I said, "Man, we were doing that in 97, 98, 99. We were doing all that, you know." But we grow up, we have families, we have kids. You got to step back a little bit,
and you heal different,
and you heal.
That's the main part, and we heal different.
Shit hurts a lot more.
We call them, we call them on the show killers, because I don't think no one has ever owned a Banshee and bust their ass and got fucked up.
No,
that doesn't happen.
If you were nice, you put in work. You was on the ground
somewhere, somehow.
He was on
it
the
might
ground.
It might be a dumb fall, but you going on that ground eventually.
I remember we was in Long Island, and we were doing that Hampton Raceway, some shit. It was me, Wink, Jaji was out there, and I gave Wink my jacket, you know, and it was the last wheelie of the night, always the last wheelie of the night, man. And I was gonna go out, I was gonna hit it, and that particular week, I put these handlebars on that were low, like dirt bike handlebars, and I never liked them. I wanted them higher, so I'm doing stupid little wheelie, one hand, you know, and like that, and my knee hit the throttle, and it spun me. You know, and I got ripped up. I flipped right on the track. I was like, man, my whole arm was ripped up. And Jaji was like, I told you to take your jacket. You know? And I was like, yeah, you know, you don't think it can happen, but it happens, man. Everybody falls, man.
Nori got a video like that.
Yeah.
On the Banshee. Coming, he wheeling, and he went to step over, and his knee hit the throttle, and he had his leg up on the handlebars. His knee hit the throttle. He slammed back on the bar. Flipped off of it, the bike going down the avenue, hit all the parked cars and everything.
I remember we did another, there was another parade, and we was on the Bruckner.
The Wink parades?
Yeah, one of them was Wink parades, and
which is now those were the official ride outs.
Yeah.
The Wink parades was the ride outs. They was the what they call now. Would you agree?
Yeah.
They were like he was the ride outs.
And your ass was not there.
No. I don't think I could have attended those at the time. Bullshit. Yes,
so
yes.
I'm wheeling down to Bruckner, and they have all them 18-wheelers there, and it was really hot. So you know the car was like all messed up, and I'm standing there on a seat and I'm coasting like 10 blocks going, and I'm coming down, and I hit one of them little whoopty doos from the Ltar, you know,
pothole.
Yeah, but
no, it's like
warp.
Warp it.
It's warped, but it's warped like a foot deep. You know, it's like if you walk and you're not looking, you'll trip.
Right.
So when I did that, I tried to catch the brake with my foot, and I hit the bar, and now I'm coasting. The bike's going like this, and it just flipped, and I just hit the floor because it's right there, so it wasn't that bad. I just a little slide, but the bike, it was like flipping, and it flipped. It was as high as the light poles. and it was going right towards the crowd. I was like, oh shit, I was skidding running the other way. You know? But the bike got all messed up and back to work. So let me ask you,
so explain this to the people because they don't know, because this era calls it Supermaning. You and Ben used to call it what? A heel toe? Snake and crane. What is these tricks that y'all used to call?
The snake and crane is different from the heel toe. We called it the heel toe, so we called it the heel toe. But the snake and crane was like you would ride from a sit down position and then jump up on a seat, throw your leg back, and then go with it. You know, which would be a combination to a Superman.
Yeah, Superman basically.
So y'all went from I don't know what you mean by the Superman.
But it's the same thing basically, but they just call it the Superman.
But Wink was doing that stuff on a GSXR. So we were doing it. He said, "Fuck that, we're gonna fuck with Wink," and we did it on the 4-wheelers, you know. And then like regular standing on a seat was just like heel toe, you know. Back to we talking about Bay. Bay was like, yo, Chris, man, how you doing that heel toe? I'm like, meet me on the island, man. I'll show you how to do it.
Ward's Island.
Yeah, Ward's Island. Meet me on the island. And he's like, I can't do it. I can't get it. I said, Bay, you got this, man. So I got on the bike with him. He stood up on a seat, and I'm holding my foot on the brake, and I'm holding the bars. I'm underneath them. And I'm like, all right, hit it. But hit it in third or hit it in the fourth. So he's like, what? And he hit it, and we're coasting. I'm not touching the brake, and I'm looking at him like, oh, you see, I told you could do it, man. Right. And then he said, all right, I'm out. He came right uptown. He was in the ebb, heel towing up the ebb. Everyone was calling me, yo, this kid is out of his mind.
Y'all was being cigars, you and Ben, man. But it's just so much history with you, man. I don't even know how far to go. But I want to know, clear this rumor up, that the Banshee, you raced the Corvette or something. You raced the car.
Oh, that was Ben.
Ben? Okay.
Ben. We built Ben's bike, and
ho. What was in this motor to make you want to race a Corvette with it?
Well, it was a 300Z.
It
was a 300Z. That's a crazy story. We were coming back from Fountain Avenue, and getting chased, and we all split up. And then like the cops got backed up or whatever. Now we're going down to BQE, and Ben was there with his Banshee, and a 300 pulls up, and they just take off. Ben smoked him, man. Ben smoked that motherfucker. We're going, and I just seen Ben disappear on him. But Ben blew his engine. Ben blew his engine, and then we came up behind him, and I was like, yo, where are we going to put this bike? We far, you know? We had to get back to the Bronx. So he stuck it in a bush on the side of the highway. I was like, yo, that shit is not going to be here when you get back. He goes, nah, it's going to be here. You know, Ben.
Right.
It's going to be here. So we shot back to the Bronx. We got the van. We came.
The bike was there?
The bike was there, man. I was like, damn. But, you know, we did a little magic in little cylinders, and we had welded cranks and shit like that.
I was going to say, because to take on the car, something had to be done to that Banshee. Yeah. Definitely wasn't stopped.
Yeah, that was the rumor.
Yeah, well, you know, Ben was my man, but Ben was a little sneaky. Because we called Trinity, and we said, look, do this. And we ordered it at the same time on the phone. I left. He called him back saying, give me a little something extra. And that's why he blew his motor. See that, Ben? That's why you blew the motor.
So what was it? So the bike I bought for you.
Yeah, that was Trinity.
That was a Trinity setup as well?
I had a stage 2 in it. Welded crank. Can't remember the jet I had in there. But I had a Hanson basket and a bolt-on stuff. But that bike, that particular
I bought that bike from you, dusty on the wall.
Was it? I don't remember.
It was dusty. You had it hanging on the wall in your shop.
I got a lot of bangs in the head.
Nah, I remember. It was hanging on the wall, dusty on your shop. Yeah. And I was trying to lowball you. It was like 96 grand. And I was like, man, this bike is dusty as hell. But that was then, so that was like 1999, 2000. That was like 2000, yeah. But the Banshee's now like 13,000.
You know, that bike, man, when you hit it in 6th gear, it stood right up like it was in first. Whatever Trinity did to the stage 2. They do not. I don't think they do it anymore with the Banshees. But now I do on my own porting. But they did some.
You was doing your own porting and polishing in?
Yeah, I did it back then, but I sent it to them because they were supposed to be the dudes. You know.
Right.
Yeah, I always heard that they
top notch. They were nice, man. They were nice, but when you start, but now you know what it is now. Now you got YouTube. We didn't have YouTube back then.
Right.
You know, we didn't have none of these.
I ain't even gonna lie. I'm so sick of YouTube mechanics.
Yeah, that's what is YouTube mechanic.
I have to go over so many people's work, and I be saying, "Who did this? I was watching YouTube. I thought I could do it myself. I'm like,
yeah. It does take a little bit of your own brain.
Do you feel like the Banshee mechanics are rare? Like, shout out to Banshee Jeff. He get busy, my man. Numb get busy.
I've been involved. Like I've been involved. All the old timers will know, like where the Banshee comes from. Banshee wasn't a Banshee without an RZ 350.
Right.
And a lot of these kids don't even know what that is. You know what I mean? Because obviously it was an 84, 85 bike. You know what I mean? They made it for 2 years and they stopped making them. And then when I found out they put that engine in a four-wheeler, I said, I gotta have one. I gotta have one. Because I have a lot of history with the RZs, because anybody knows the RZ, they were a lot of fun back then. You know, especially for a 16-year-old kid.
I had one in my possession once, and it didn't run, and I never got a chance to make it run.
Well, you know what it is? It's like this. If you had one in 85, 86, 87, maybe up to 90, you understood the bike. But if you get on it now, you're like, what the fuck is this thing? It only does like 115 miles an hour. You know, but it's a lot of fun to ride. It screams like a Banshee. It has longer gears, and then
the transmission is definitely different.
Yeah,
people be searching for that transmission to put in their Banshees.
Yeah, right. But you know, I think I'm one of the only ones in the beginning that knew that, because I had Banshees, and I said one day I had my engine apart, and I had a RZ tranny right there, and I said, hold up, let me put this in here. And when I put it in there, the gears were long, and then you could do your little adjusting with the sprockets.
Yeah, big.
And that's how we were getting the speed out of them.
That was a big difference. We used to put those in there and put the which they just put 8-inch wheels on the back, and then you could Superman it in 5th gear for miles.
Because we were riding from the Bronx to Brooklyn to Long Island. So you know, the other kids were coming with us, but they were screaming. We had to wait for them. We were coasting and cruising. Our bikes wasn't even getting hot with those trannies.
Yeah, that tranny different.
What about the craziest chase you ever had, Chris?
Which one? You know, I don't know, man. I mean, I look at it now, and like these kids, they're really nice, but they won't never know the struggle. They will never know the struggle of a chase. Man, I had the whole precinct chasing me. I had the 19th precinct chasing me, the 23rd precinct, the 45th precinct, all at 1 o'clock in the morning on a Banshee.
They get a follow and they go home and jump on the internet like, oh
no
my
panic,
God, no panic, it's hot outside. You know, oh my goodness, it was
one
lit.
Thing like for me, like I grew up in the projects, so when you grew up in the projects, you know you got all the outlets and every different direction.
Right.
And I learned that growing up, you know, always running. So when I had my Banshee, they were chasing me from Ward's Island, from the toll booth. And I was just coming over the bridge, and I went down 2nd Avenue, and I was wheeling, and while they were chasing me, I was laughing at them, you know? I had a kid on the back, and by the time I got to 104th Street on 2nd Avenue, I had about 5 cars behind me, and then there was one right there, and I put it down because it was a red light. I hit the brake, I put it down, I looked to the left, fucking cops eating donuts and coffee, spilled it in his lap, hit the gas, they're chasing me. So now they're all coming, and if you remember back in that era, like all the cops from a certain precinct would go to, like on 2nd Avenue and like 95th Street. I don't think you would know, but you might know. You might know. But they were all out there. Like there was like 5 vans, unmarked cars. They were all out there. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm fucked up now. So I go a few more blocks to like 92nd or 90th Street, and I cut down to 1st. So as you come up 1st, all these lights are behind me. And it's 1 o'clock in the morning. It's like Christmas behind me. You know, and I'm like,
no cars outside.
There ain't no cars to hide.
That's the only time y'all don't have no traffic out here.
Yeah, but
middle of the night.
Back then, you know, it was no traffic. So I'm running, and as I'm coming up 1st, they're coming down the streets the wrong way, and they're trying to smash me into the parked cars across the avenue. So I come up, and then I come around 96th Street by the FDR Drive, and I come behind the projects now, right? Now, how they didn't grow up there, I would have known that,
right?
You know. So I came around, you remember the old ASPCA? So I come around over there by the old ASPCA, and there's a parking lot where you go in, it goes to 1st Avenue, but you can't get through with a car. So I stuck about 30 cop cars in that parking lot. I stopped like about another 30, 40 feet up, and I was like, fuck you. And I took off. I was out. And all my friends that knew me or people that grew up in that area where they were just out there screaming, yelling, laughing, like I was some superstar or some shit. And I was like, oh shit. Man, my phone was blowing up like crazy that night. The next morning, yo, what you do? What you do? You robbed the bank? I was like, nah, man, I was just trying to go for a ride. Let's go for a ride.
Dirt Bike James from your hood, right?
Yeah.
What was it like with him growing up, Chris?
It was like, you know, tit for tat. You know,
was he paparazzi then?
Let me tell you, James, since I know him, would pop shit,
right?
You know, and like he didn't like me. You know, I didn't like him. We're like, fuck that motherfucker.
Why he didn't like you?
Because my bike was faster than his.
Oh boy!
But you know what it is? He had a brand new joint, and I had some busted garbage.
You're the hoopty.
I had a hoopty.
Oh yeah, you was a talking.
You know what I mean? So you know, when you have a hoopty, what can you do? You gotta make it faster.
He did
not like hoops.
He did not like hoops.
You gotta make it faster.
Right.
You know?
That's one thing.
So you know, like me and my brother.
Team Crispy with him
everything
all day.
Was Team Crispy, man.
But you know what's funny? Because his friends, when the bike busted or broken, yo, call the twins. You know what I'm saying? Right. So we would fix the bikes, but we know we had a mutual you know friendship, but we wasn't hanging out like that, you know. And then you know he got into a little trouble, and then I felt really bad for him. And then I didn't speak to him all them years. And then I seen him when he came home, and it was like we knew each other, like you know, from little kids, you know, because we did. We knew each other from little kids.
He came home and got his Crispies again.
He went back.
He did.
He had those bikes.
And then raced to something I built that Shay had, and Shay whipped his ass. Then he was mad again, all over again.
He said, "Nah, something you did something to this bike." He ain't like that shit.
But you know that was James. But James was nice, man. He was one of the like first dudes I seen on a 80. Not really one of the first dudes, but he was every day on his 80. He was every day on his 100 or his 80 at KX. Every day, like it could be 1 a.m. I come out of my house and he's wheeling. He'd be at 6 o'clock in the morning, like he's going home from all night, wheeling and riding.
So what do you think about the bike culture now? Because you were kind of there when we first started Go Hard Boys and stuff like that. Yeah. So what do you think about the culture now? Like if you click on your Instagram or YouTube,
I like some of these kids. They're really good.
Mm-hmm.
But some of them are just too reckless, man. You know what I mean? And it's just, and they're all fucked up now. You know who's fucking up now? The people with the scooters.
Oh, the scooters.
Yo, the people with the scooters. Yo, they're fucking up how do the scooters fucking up the dirt bikes?
Because
they can't probably ride.
Politicians call everything a dirt bike.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Scooters
but
that's
not a dirt bike, but they call everything a dirt bike.
I mean, the kids are good, but this is my biggest issue. Me, you, Wink, anybody that we know that rides, we did not invent the wheelie. All these kids act like they invented the wheelie.
Every trick they swear they started.
Yeah, and it's like, where does ignorance come from? You know, I know when I was a little kid, you know who I saw to a wheelie? Evil Knievel. That was my superstar, Evil Knievel.
I don't even think he had back brake.
He had no, like, he was like,
I don't think he had. He was just going.
He was just going.
Yeah, he was just going. Yeah, Doug DeLucas was the hero. Like, I mean, in the wheelie thing. But my only thing with the wheelie, once they invented, then they turned it to gangsters.
Yeah,
that's the shit.
They were all YouTube riders. We rode from the heart. These are YouTube riders. I want to see how many likes I can get today.
Yeah,
you know, I'm like, oh, my man.
I'm gonna do that. See how many likes I get. Like, okay, you know, how much clout I can get.
It kind of bothers you with that type of energy, Chris?
Well, I just don't like.
They probably gonna be like, who the fuck they got this guy up there talking about? Who is he? Who he think he is?
Well, I don't think I'm anybody. I just probably know. I just part of this whole riding game, like all of us, man.
Right,
you know?
right.
But and you know the one thing that I like the most about the riding, it don't matter what the fuck you come from or whatever. If you could be blue, green, yellow, red, you're a rider, you accept you. Like I was gonna cut you guys off when we were talking before. I see all these guys when I go on the highway all the time. You see a guy down on a bike, you pull over and help him because you're a rider. It don't matter. Anybody, like I see all these people pulling over other riders and bikers. They pull people over and help because they're riders. They're not pulling over because he's green or he's red or he's black or white or Puerto Rican or whatever. They're pulling over people. People get stuck and they help you.
You ain't lying because it be plenty of days I done been in my truck and I be driving and I see somebody.
It don't matter because
you pull right over like, sure, what's wrong? You need a spark plug?
Right.
Yeah.
But I ain't gonna lie, Chris. I mean, because you light skinned, but you was always see Boogie. Like, I mean, you definitely had. You was just see Boogie like the twins.
Yeah,
the twins. But it wasn't no color barrier with you. It was just always
Well,
see Boogie, but you was definitely a legend.
It's a culture.
Yeah.
It ain't a color. You know what I mean? It's a culture. And when you got little kids looking in magazines and I want that bike, I want that car, I want them new sneakers, whatever. We're all looking at the same thing. You know? You only start having problems with all that shit when you listen to this bullshit media that's on the TV. And they feeding this shit to the people.
Right.
That's a whole nother.
You about to go politics.
Nah, I won't do it.
But nah, I mean, you just a stone cold legend. I just be wanting the public to kind of understand, because a lot of these kids probably wouldn't understand who you are. The cool thing about it, like, to have two mechanics, to have legends on the show and just kind of bring some history.
Yeah.
But like, you know, a lot. Like when it come to Banshees, I was like, always like, yo, you the Banshee killer.
Well, you know.
And Ben was just who he was. Ben would ride out there with the medieval chain fucking vest.
I seen Ben with
Ben wore costumes.
Shit, a medieval chain.
Yeah, he had like, you know, like the medieval times, like the dragons.
The mesh hood?
Yeah, the mesh hoodie. Riding the Banshee.
I was up in the Bronx. I was up by St. Anne's. Right? I was in the South Bronx, right? I was in St. Anne's, right? And I had to talk to somebody. And all of a sudden I hear a Banshee, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, shit, gotta look who's riding. Comes crazy Ben. This fucking mesh fucking hood. I'm like, and he got some
medieval Ben.
He got some girl in the back, cops are chasing him. I'm like,
yo, Ben,
what the fuck did I just see?
Yo, can you agree with me?
Can you imagine what the police said?
Yo, dog, I seen through the medieval time. But before, like, you know, now the guys got the street legal Banshees, right?
Yeah.
Yo, before that was the wave. Yo, Ben was riding that bike like it was like he had plates.
Yeah, let me say something about that street legal shit. That's all bullshit. These kids are stupid, and not stupid. I won't say they're stupid, but they're being misled, because right now the cops ain't doing nothing. Their hands are like this. They ain't bothering nobody because they're not getting paid and all this other stuff. When they get their hands back in the pot, all them Banshee with plates, they're going. Because they
already snatched.
Listen, I was like one of the first ones that had plates on the Banshee. And I said, I don't care about the plates. As long as I got insurance, that's all I need. Show your Banshee. If you're listening, show your Banshee and then put the plates. Fuck the blinkers. Fuck all that bullshit. Because at the end of the day, what are they going to give you a ticket for? A wheelie and a blinker. Insurance is the worst ticket to have. And that's what we were doing back then. So they're not doing nothing new. It's just the cops ain't like the cops.
I'm running.
Yeah, that's how I say. I don't want to stop.
I'm not stopping. I'm running. I don't want to set the red light.
I went through that little phase. I'm gonna pull over. I'm gonna pull over. Blah blah blah.
You pulled over, Chris?
Yeah, I pulled over like an asshole. I got pulled over. I got asshole and got insulted, kicked in the ass. They tried to take my bike. You know, and I'm like, for what?
I'm gonna keep it pushing.
I don't need to deal with that. I'm just gonna keep it moving.
Yeah, I'm running. Stop.
You catch me when you catch me. You know? That's how I always live my life. Catch me if you catch me.
It's one thing if I'm going to ride the Banshee and never do any type of wheelies or anything. Then I might just chance it. But that's taking all the fun out of it.
Yeah.
We want a wheelie, so it's like, I'm not putting no tags on them shit.
What's your take on the state to state riding?
It's great. I think it's good. It opens up the sport. You know what I mean? But for people like me, I wouldn't do that. I just keep it to the boroughs. But I mean, it's a different time now, you know? If you're doing your bike in the trailer, you're going, yeah, why not? But
yeah, that's what we talking about.
Yeah, like I'm saying, would you
that's what I mean.
In different states?
For me, I wouldn't do it. Unless like you invited me, let's go over there. I'll go. But that's not something I'm gonna do like back in the day, just get on a bike and go. Right. I ain't gonna do that. You know what I mean? But
no, I ain't even gonna lie to you. I wouldn't. Back in the day. Back in the day was a little different. Not just loading your truck,
you know,
just
but
going to
there's
somebody else.
There's so many like dudes, like younger kids that were riding. We were riding under us that were so nice, and some of them are gone, some of them are here, and you know whatever it is. But there's a lot of little young dudes that were nice.
Yo, it's like now these dudes get nice in like 30 days.
2 weeks.
Yeah, because
2 weeks, they phenomenal.
2 weeks, you see him, he trying to learn how to ride a clutch today, tomorrow, you see him, he's like, what the
fuck? But the whole thing is they don't know how to ride.
They don't know how to wheelie.
You could do a wheelie, but you can't ride.
Right. We say it all the time.
You know, the first thing, like when you're younger, you need to learn how to do a donut.
Yep.
You need to learn how to spin them wheels. You know how to operate that clutch.
And
you know what I mean?
50% of the riders still can't do it,
and they can't do it because they got their YouTube and their Instagram video like this.
The other 50% of the riders can't ride up and down the steps.
Not at all.
Can't climb a hill. Can't do nothing.
Right.
You'd be surprised at how many riders out there who can't change their own spark plug.
Yeah,
like this shit is ridiculous.
Crazy. It's crazy. I got a flat tire. Yeah, put air in it. You know what I mean?
They don't know nothing.
Pressure.
But they get on there and wheelie their ass off though. That's about it.
You get busy.
Yeah. Can't
Crunch
do nothing
time,
else.
they gonna panic.
Yeah, there was a lot of young kids, man, that were good, man, and I would have liked to seen a lot of them do that. You know, I've had different plans for them. You know, little Sammy. You know,
Sammy was high. You know, Alan was high.
Little Alan, man, I'm gonna tell you like this, Alan was nice, bro. That was my little man. But you know, people have their own view on him, whatever. But let me tell you something. That kid, he was a natural, man. That kid was a natural. I had to work at what I had, man. That kid would come boop, boop, like Wink. Wink was a natural.
Right.
I never seen no one ride a bike like Wink. I've been riding a long time. And Alan too, man. There was another little kid, Sammy from the Bronx.
Yeah,
Sammy was nice, man.
Sammy was definitely nice.
Little Papa.
I sold Alan that CR.
Yeah.
With the Peckerwood on it. Yeah. The Woody Woodpecker bike. I gave it to him for pennies. Like $1,500. I don't know, some stupid shit.
He used to come to my shop, man. He used to break my balls all the time, man. Like, get out of here, little fuck. Get out of here, little fuck. You know? Yeah, I'll fucking smoke you. I say, yeah, come over here. I'll kick him in his ass. You know? Right. But I like Alan, man. Alan was a good kid. I don't know what happened. I haven't seen him in years. But he was nice.
Chris, man, it's kind of just cool just to have the OG here, man. I don't know what you think, Wayne.
Told you they're gonna learn something today.
Yeah, they definitely gonna learn something.
You're gonna learn a lot from a dummy.
Well, I don't know. It's hard to say who what to smoke with. I don't even really know. But if you got, I'm gonna let you ask him a question. How you gonna set it up?
I'm gonna ask him. From the era when you was at the top of your game, right? What riders back then that was at the top of their game that you felt like y'all had like tension? You know what I mean?
For me, I never had tension with anybody, bro. I never had tension with anybody. I would enjoy see someone doing what I was doing because there wasn't a lot of us.
Right.
You know? And when I was riding, a lot of dudes were riding street bikes. You know? There wasn't too many Banshees out there.
Y'all definitely had.
There was a handful.
Motorcycles. Heavy.
You know? And there wasn't too many. But
Banshee wise though, like
there wasn't really too many Banshees.
I know it got to be somebody
that you feel like at that time.
You just felt like when you rolled past them, like you like that.
Nigga, let's get it on.
Why you keep looking at me like that?
You know what it was?
Looking at me like kind of strange.
I was saying, like I was watching your guys' show a couple months ago. And,
thanks for watching, Chris. Thank you.
Yeah, come on. I gotta support the, you know.
Okay, good.
But you had someone on here from the Wheelie Boys, and he was
John.
Yeah, John.
Yeah,
right. And you were asking him if he wanted to smoke with Wink, and who would be the four-wheeler. And I'm assuming he was talking about me.
Like, who would you want to smoke with at that time when y'all was at the height?
On a Banshee and on a motorcycle.
Banshee and a motorcycle. Who would you want? Who would you have called out back then?
And back in that era?
Yeah, back in that era.
On a Banshee and a motorcycle. Well, I definitely would call out Wink on a motorcycle.
That's a big one.
Big jump.
Definitely would call
that would have been
Wink.
A hell of a battle, too.
That shit you just said right there, they are going to go fucking... No, but
I'm keeping it real.
Right.
I mean, you know,
that would have been a hell of a battle.
He was definitely a threat back then. On the Banshee, I don't know who I would call out on the Banshee. There was a lot of good Banshee riders.
Big Ben.
I don't remember the kid's name, but whoever did, it was a white kid. I think he was from the Bronx, and he did the Rough Rider video on that 97 yellow.
The yellow one that went down the stairs?
That kid, I don't know who that kid is.
Right.
But at that time, I remember if I ever see that kid, I was going to, you know what I'm saying? I used to look out for that kid.
Yeah, I want you.
I don't know who that kid is. I'm sure if someone's going to say, oh, that's so-and-so. But, you know, respect to him.
But I feel at that time, he wasn't ready. He wasn't ready because he was nice, but I was on a different level. I was very aggressive, and like I said, there wasn't a lot of people doing it. And when I went to Fountain Avenue, in like '97, I seen a bunch of dudes out there. Laura, the Banshee, Barbie.
Barbie, yeah. Rest in peace to Barbie.
Yeah, rest in peace to her.
Yeah, we used to watch.
And I would see, I would see these dudes out there, and I used to see. I know who he is. I'm not gonna say I don't know who he is. I know who he is. And he was on his little scooter, and I'm doing shit on the Banshee. The following year, I would go out there. I seen him on Banshees. I was like, that's cool. And then whenever I would go past, I don't know if I'm crazy or maybe I'm just thinking out of my head, but I would go by a wheelie, take a look to the side, and I would see, you know,
John was ice grilling John.
You know, I would see like them dudes that he was with were all like, but the only dude that would show love was the dude Paulie. I guess that was their boy, you know. And he'd be like, yo, what's up, kid? And I'm like, yeah, what's up? And he was like, yeah, you're doing good or whatever, you know. He was very, you know, he was cool, you know what I'm saying? But I do give them props because I watched them, you know, and they were tight, you know. Mm-hmm. And that was great to see people together doing something because every time that I was trying to do something, I would see people hating on each other. And I see, like now, I would see them, I would see people that grew up together hating on each other.
That's now.
That's normal.
You know what I'm saying? But the Wheelie Boys, they were tight knit.
They definitely was tight knit.
And you know what?
Italians,
stick together.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
You know,
John's my boy, man. John, but
I don't know him. You know, I don't know him. I'm sure he's a cool dude. But he was
John came to Baltimore.
He said, yeah, John came to Baltimore.
But you know, a lot of people were grilling me.
So basically, at that time, you and John should have got it on.
No, he wasn't ready. I'm just gonna tell you how I feel, man.
All right.
He wasn't ready.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool to
you
see.
know, I'm not saying he wasn't doing his thing.
Right. But at that time, he wasn't ready.
I say
no.
We give both of them a Banshee in 2 weeks, and we have an egg battle.
Oh, that's cool. You know about the egg battle?
What the hell's an egg
Break
battle?
it down to
You know, everybody always want to bet some money on a wheelie contest. We did it a friendly way. So what we do is
we can bet money.
No, we don't.
No money.
We want the confusion with the money. So we made an egg battle, where though the loser got to put eggs in his sock.
Both sides.
He got to crush them.
I ain't putting no eggs in my socks.
You got to walk the shame.
Nah,
you rather lose the money than they have the eggs?
Fucking damn right. I ain't putting no eggs in my shoes.
So it's safe to say.
But no, it's not safe to say because I haven't rode a Banshee and I could do it. You know, you give me, like you said, give me a week or two.
Yeah, that's what I said. Give both of y'all a Banshee and give y'all about 2 weeks. Give y'all about 2 weeks and then,
we're going to have some fun.
And just have some fun.
We're going to have some fun.
There you go.
You know, but like I said, at that time, at that era, there was nobody seeing me. You know?
See Boogie. See Boogie.
I'm representing See Boogie.
Look, I wish we had another mic because I tell him to drop it.
Yeah. I just told you to tip the mic over. But anything else you want to give to the people? Oh, yeah. There you go.
Oh, God.
Just take this. Here you go. See Boogie's moving up.
Look, you might as well tell Patoro you need a bottle.
Yeah, tell Patoro you want a bottle or just take it with you, man. Okay, See Boogie.
Here's for all the guys that ain't here with us no more.
Respect.
Bay, Sammy, all you guys. If I left anyone out, love you.
We can end it on that note.
Yeah, that's it. There you go.
Rain, Shay, thanks for having See Boogie. If not forgetting me.
Know what this life like? I'm flipping that throttle. Streets got me feeling like Mike. Right. I'm talking Nate Fab and Cherry Hill. For years they heard about the stories and we legends still. Let's take a ride.